Good evening, everybody. Welcome along to this edition of SportsView on NearMedia.tv. And good evening, Joe Waters. So welcome.
Good evening, Pat. Evening, Derwynne.
Yeah.
Hi, Joe. Hi, Pat.
Good evening, Derwynne, and welcome. And Joe's over in Seattle, and Derwynne is over in London, England, and England. Oh my God, they're shocking, aren't they? That's the word I use. The England soccer team I won't say they were playing against Brazil. They were on the pitch against Brazil. I saw bad ineptitude in English soccer, and this is not a joke down or anything, but or you can claim you're Welsh, so you're fine. You're exonerated. But,
bit of Welsh, bit of Irish as well.
They were just. What do you think of them, Darwin? Did you see the match?
I did. I thought they were good in parts and then awful in other parts.
Joe, did you see it?
I did. Yeah, I watched it. Yeah.
Did you watch the whole out of it?
I did. I didn't watch all of it, but I saw. I don't know. I mean, that team without the likes of Harry Kane. They're not that far off of being. If they have all their guys fit, they're probably one of the favourites. But if they don't have all their guys fit, then I think that very quickly they could find themselves in trouble if the wrong guys get injured.
I mean, Watkins isn't a replacement for Kane, is he?
Oh, who? I didn't even know who he was.
Yeah. Well, there's a big difference, between international football and club football.
Yeah.
And
you know who proved that, or one of them was Bellingham and Grealish. I mean, Bellingham Grealish plays with world-class players at his club. You couldn't say he plays with world-class players on the English team.
And they don't have the same quality that certainly the Brazilians have in terms of that. But he does have some good players around him. But again, it's they still don't seem to be able to solve the problem of the central midfield.
He lost the European Championship at Wembley, the manager.
Right. They
should have got rid of him then. He's proven that he's not a manager for the talent. There's 66 million people in Britain. And if they can't put 11 international players out on the pitch at home, but that's one of the poorest Brazilian teams in my lifetime that I've seen playing for Brazil. And that's with apologies. All the players do their best, but really, let's get a glimpse of one of them in their heyday.
Well, the way they look at the ball, look at the way he's got it. He's got it in his hands. He's having a good, careful look about it. It's placed absolutely perfect. Everything's set that he's going to hit it. I just wonder if the kid is on.
It's what, all of 30 yards, Andy?
Well, why not? It's a 30-yard free kick with a 20-yard run-up.
Dear! I don't believe it! What a goal we have just seen from Roberto Carlos. That is amazing!
Well, that was what was missing in Euro 96. That is quite incredible. Not so sure about the goalkeeper's position and what he saw, but we can't deny the quality of the strike. It had power, it had bend, it had accuracy. Watch this. Starts way wide of the goal. That's 2-3 yards wide and just clips the inside of the post. That is quite a magnificent free kick. I'm not so sure we'll see one better than that for many a year. Quite exquisite.
An absolutely stunning shot. Barthez, well, he was as much a spectator as I
was. You never get tired of looking at good soccer players, but obviously that was France and Brazil.
I thought Bellingham was outstanding, with no one around him, no support.
And I think that's the thing with it. He's only. We have to not forget here that this kid is only 20 years of age.
Could anyone tell me? Could anyone tell me what's the manager's philosophy, his football philosophy for the team?
I had no
Not to
idea
lose.
about
Don't lose.
I'll
Don't
tell you
lose.
one
Don't lose.
stat from that game, which came out the next day. Foden did not have a touch of the ball in the opposition's penalty box. How about that for a stat, Joe?
Yeah.
Go away.
Didn't touch the ball.
I did not
in the
see that
Brazilian
one.
penalty in their penalty box.
Yeah.
Did not touch the ball.
Well, I mean, the only chances that they really had were from set plays.
Yeah.
And quite what the Brazilians were doing on the free kicks and what have you, being so deep on top of their goalkeeper. I mean, when you're playing against a team like England, it's certainly you've got, fellas that can jump and head the ball and what have you. You're playing with, you're dicing with it on that one. And England just didn't take the opportunities. But, again, it's back down to it. Their best chances were from set plays. And you're not going to win anything if that's going to be your route.
If you went from front to back, as a England football fan, I thought I'm not sure about Pickford. I really have got question marks on Pickford. But Stones was good.
Yeah.
Maguire was his usual slow up against fast runners. He was always going to be on a downer, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Chilwell basically, I think, has managed to get himself out of the team with that performance.
Yeah.
I thought Mainu coming on was good. You could see him playing with Bellingham, couldn't you? And Foden.
Yeah, but I mean, is he going to take a chance on somebody like that playing? I mean, it's he still has a long way to go to from my mind, to be a starting player for them. You have to look at it from the perspective that, Chilwell is only just coming back from injury, so he's still playing his way back into it, and so, he will get better as if he can stay injury free for the rest of the season. Luke Shaw, Luke Shaw's top draw fullback. There's no doubt about that.
He's quality. Yeah, Luke Shaw is very good. Yeah,
but both their fullbacks are very, very good, and they really depend on the fullbacks to cover the centre backs.
Yeah.
So when you're two starting guys, and both the starting guys are world class, or if not world class, they're certainly very close to it. Then you're going to be weaker obviously in those positions.
There's no doubt they miss Saka and Kane. There's no doubt about that. There's no doubt.
And I mean,
if progress in the European Championship, just chalked into me, is it Germany in the semi-final? That's England I'm talking about, Germany or France in the semi-final. And at performances like that, you wouldn't have much of confidence in them, really, Now, Derwynne, we call you an Englishman for the argument's sake, anyway, But to my mind, St. George's Cross, that's what they were going on about today in some of the papers. Instead of discussing the match, they were talking about the new jersey for England, and changing the colour of St. George's Cross. Did you see anything about that? What do you think of that?
I think it's a joke, to be honest. I mean, that's a bit. I mean, the comments that have been over here in the press, on the news and everything else, is that would Nike do that with the Stars and Stripes of America, and would they be allowed to do it?
No, they would not. No.
If they do that, would imagine Wales changing the red dragon to a blue dragon, for argument's sake.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine changing your flag.
Oh yeah, I think it's a disgrace, really, to be honest.
And for Nike to be allowed to get away with it and sell these shirts at stupid prices.
And a lot of their materials are produced in sweatshops with children.
Yeah,
you
you've
know?
got questionable
Now,
ethics.
as we're talking about jerseys and things, Germany, there's a huge hullabaloo which has gone to the German parliament. They're discussing that Germany has signed a new contract with Nike. They're dropping Adidas. Now, Germany won the World Cup in 1958, was it? For the first time? Was it 50?
Brazil won it in 58.
Oh, Brazil won in 58. When did they win it for the first time?
So
Anyway, since they won it, since they competed internationally, the German jersey has had the 3 stripes of Adidas on them. Apparently, Nike doubled the money they gave to Germany instead of Adidas, from 50 million to made it 100 million. Now, this is due to come in 2027. But I can't see it happening because there's such a furore in government and amongst German officials, because as we know, Adidas is a German company. Not saying, but I mean, really and truly, Nike are very aggressive in their sponsoring stuff, and I think people should think twice. I know it's when you're strapped for money and you need money, if they come up with you, but really you're selling your soul, really, but so England and Germany were complaining about, for different reasons, about the sponsorship. And will they go back to the traditional red cross in a white background, Derwynne, do you think?
I think they've got to, because
Yeah,
there's been, uproar over here about it, because
it's 129 euros sterling of the new jersey in England. 129 euros sterling. Who can afford that?
they've sold thousands.
Yeah.
Hundreds of thousands, I'd imagine, but I mean, they have sold thousands of these new strips already.
Jeez. Well, they could be collector's items.
Their argument was, they were saying that all the multicolours of the flag on the collar was a throwback to 1966. I'd never seen purple on a 1966 strip.
I didn't either. Because a lot of us had black and white television on,
Well, I've seen red strips and I've seen white strips.
The
seen purple strip.
Exactly.
Their tracksuits were like a royal blue.
Mm-hmm.
With red, white, and blue cuffs. Where the purple comes in and the pink, I have no idea.
Might have been in their socks. I don't know. I remember the red jersey of England. It was pretty traditional, but I never saw purple. But anyway, the Republic of Ireland were unlucky in their match. I saw some of that match with John O'Shea's first match in charge. I thought he had a swagger about him. I thought the team were well organised. They got a penalty in the match, and your man from Brighton, what's his name again? I forget his name.
Evan Ferguson.
Ferguson should never have taken that. Ogbene is the player in form. Ogbene. He's in terrific form with Luton Town. He should have taken the penalty. But they missed 2 or 3 very gilt-edged opportunities. But they've created an awful lot in the match. I think there's a lot of positives for Ireland. They seem to be shaping up well. I would say that anyway. But they did well in things. But I didn't see much soccer over the weekend. By the way, listeners and viewers, you can press the red button on the right-hand side to subscribe to our channel, and we appreciate it very much. We'll move on to... let's tee up this. We're going to move on to golf next. And we have advice for all your golfers out there.
Well, with all the qualifying events now for the Volvo Masters Amateur well underway, one of the secrets to getting good results on a golf course is being better prepared. Now, as a tournament player, I used to try and practice all kinds of different shots that I knew I might need the following week when I was going in towards a big golf tournament. Preparation comes in loads of different ways. Just having the right amount of golf clubs, having some spare gloves, having a spare towel just in case it gets wet when you're out playing. So prepare for a golf course, prepare for a golf tournament, and you'll be prepared to win.
Yeah, no, that's good advice. And
I want answers on a postcard who that bloke was.
that's right. Yeah. And if you're looking for that bloke, I think he's in hiding somewhere. Who appeared in that. And the
And
the metropolitan people are looking for him.
What was
But,
that, Joe?
I said, I'm
I was-
feeling bad. I'm here with 2 TV stars.
I was up. I was up there last night watching
The international caps, though, Joe.
Paulie Carrington winning on the Champions Tour. And it was a terrific win for Paulie. He was leading the tournament by 2 strokes. He was playing with Joy D and Miguel Angel Jimenez, and people like Jose Maria Lazabel, Ernie Els, Steve Stricker, KJ Choi, all the heads, all men. Oh, Rod Pamplin, there's a blast from the past now, Derwynne. Rod
Yeah,
Pamplin.
Rod Pamplin, eh?
Oh my God, Paul Broadhurst, they played a terrific match as well, you know. I was just in awe of these guys, you know, I really, really was. And Harrington up on top of the leaderboard. On the 6th, did you see the all, Derwynne?
I did watch a bit of it, yeah.
On the 16th hole, Paulie took out the driver, and I'd say the adrenaline was flying through the veins. Whack! A big hook off to the left into the houses and bushes. I said, that's his tournament gone. He had to take an intermediary ball and hit that as well. But anyway, he found his ball. He made a double bogey on the 16th, which meant he dropped the 2 shots. Jai D was leading by a stroke. He birdied the 17th, and he had a terrific birdie on the 17th, and he birdied the 18th for the win. He's 38 win. He must be the greatest Irish golfer certainly that ever came off this island, without a shadow of a doubt. He has 3 majors on tour and 1 major in the seniors.
You boys you produced some players, though. Fred Daly, Christy Connor.
Fred Daly, Christy O'Connor, yeah.
Eamon
That's
Darcy.
Right. The 2 Christy O'Connors.
Yeah, senior and junior, yeah.
Senior and junior, yeah. And
I think senior probably had the edge on junior.
Yeah.
Senior.
Wasn't Junior the golf pro out at...
He was in Shannon Golf Club, yeah, for years, yeah, he was, yeah. He never fully recovered from the death of his son in the car crash.
Yeah.
Outside Crockwood. It was just so sad. But Paulie, $300,000 for his 3 rounds, $100,000 a round. Paulie Carrington, he where am I now here? Anyway, minus 14. He won he rounded 63, 67, and 63, 67, and 69. He was just terrific, and there you go. And he's well up in the Charles Schwab money list as well. So there's $1 million for the winner of that at the end of the season. Dan Clapp finished down the field, you know. But
that Charles Schwab Cup thing, they don't actually get the money. That money goes into a pension fund, like a trust fund, pension fund.
Yes, I didn't find out that till last night. The lads were talking on the golf channel.
So they reckon I can't remember who it was now. I think it might have been Palmer and Player when they first went out on the seniors tour. That Charles Schwab pension fund, even though it was something like $500,000 that went into a pension fund, was actually, when it came out, I think it's got a 10-year run on it. It came out, it was worth something like $8 million, or it was something absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it was Palmer. It was Palmer won the first Charles Schwab, I think, when he first came.
But Pádraig evergreen. He's 52, 53 this year, Pádraig Carrington, and I thought he played terrific golf. I saw most of it. I saw the ladies then as well. Nelly Calder's back at home, back in top. She won in a playoff, the ladies, and she won as what did she win? Oh dear me. she won for Hill, now they call her. She was -9, 72, 67, 67, and 69. Our own Leona Maguire finished down in 13th place at -4. She had a 71 and a 65, which put her well up for the two, but she had a pair of 72s in her third and fourth round, which knocked her back down the field. But she played well. She's happy enough. Her saw being interviewed. She won 30 grand, $30,000 for her. Nelly won the same amount as Tori Harrington, $300,000. Nelly Corder. But she's a. What do you think she's a good golfer, Derwynne? Did you see her? They're all raving over her last night. Her drive, her I don't know, her technique. Is it what you call it?
Yeah, I mean, she's clearly a good player. I mean, she's won too many times for it to be lucky. But she has got a good technique, that's for sure.
The DP World Tour, the European Tour, was over in Singapore, and Jasper Svensson from Sweden in a playoff won that at -17. Shane Lowry was playing in that as well. He finished down the field. He was -8, 69, 73, 66, and 72. But he was suffering badly from jet lag the first 2 days, but he recovered somewhat. But anyway, he's very popular over there. Not because of that, she's playing well. I think he won around $30,000, so he got his expenses covered anyway. Got all the burgers paid for. But the PGA Valspar, the painting tournament, we call it the Valspar tournament, and they're the paint crowd. Valspar, and
Yeah, they are. Yeah, Peter
yeah,
Malnati. I could tell you a funny story about Peter.
Peter Malnati, I never heard of him. He won it, -12. Seamus Power was playing in that one. Seamus Power was in contention within 2 shots, but he fell away to be -3. That's Seamus Power. Yeah, what about the Valspar paint crowd, Darwin?
So Peter Malnati wears one of the Dragonfly suits.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, when he first, about 3 years ago, I met Peter Malnati at a tournament where he was trying the suit and wanted to know more about it and everything else. I actually thought that can't be Peter Malnati because I'd done a bit of digging around on him. He'd won something like about $6 million at that stage, even though you'd never heard of him.
Yeah.
He'd been out on tour for about 10 years.
That's right.
And when he stood in front of me hitting shots, I looked at someone who was with me and literally went, this isn't really Peter Malnati, is it? This golf swing isn't a golf pro, is it? And I had to double check myself before I said something stupid like, where's the real Peter Malnati? Will he stand up, sort of thing?
Yes.
He swung the golf club so badly, like it. I mean, you two will remember Eamon Darcy or Jim Furyk. Looking like an octopus falling out of a tree. He does everything technically wrong in his golf swing. He changes height during the swing. He moves left and right, so he sways. He's got it 1,000,000 miles inside. He's got it 1,000,000 miles on the outside coming down. But somehow he puts the square club face on a ball and makes it go where it needs to go. And when he first, I literally stood there for about 20 minutes thinking, this is a joke. And who's playing games on me here? And I thought it's like candid camera.
Yeah.
And this can't be real. And then he started asking questions, and you were like, this is real, isn't it? This is actually really happening. And he met that first time I met him, he made about 60 swings in the suit. And I couldn't analyze one of them because there was no consistency between one of those swings. Every swing was different. Like when we put Woods into the suit, Woods' turn was like 110, 111, 110, 111 at the top of his backswing.
Yeah.
Malnati's was all over the place. It was like there was, he had like a 15-degree range on most of the movements.
Yeah.
And it was the most bizarre thing, but he's winning. So I don't know what the answer is.
Well, he won the tournament anyway at -12 66, 71, 68, and 67. They were his round, Malnati.
Yeah.
And just another thing today, Angel Cabrera, great character, great golfer, won the Masters in 2009, has been refused a visa for entry into America, so he can't play in the Masters. They're hoping that he can play next year. Now, obviously, Angel Cabrera served a jail sentence recently for domestic abuse as well. All over the papers and the media, as it should be. But he served his sentence. As the man said, he did his time for the crime, and it was a bit churlish of the State Department not to give him a visa to come play in the Masters, you know, because it's a great tradition that all past winners were invited to play. Am I right there? You know.
Yeah, everybody who's won the Masters is always invited back to the Masters, but I think it's more to do with the fact of criminal records and everything else, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he served his time.
Yeah, but without changing the subject too much, Prince Harry's got a few issues. He's got a few questions to answer because he got done for drugs, didn't he?
Yeah.
And they're now querying how he got a visa because he got done for drugs over here.
You're talking about the spare, are you?
The what?
The spare.
The spare, yeah.
Oh God! Please.
I think the rarest thing was more to do with visas than it was the Masters actually being nasty. I think.
Well, the Masters have no problem in they simply invite, him because it's a common courtesy, But anyway, he won't be there. Angel Cabrera, I remember when he won it actually, he's a freewheeling golfer. Is that how you call him, Derwynne? He was a freewheeling golfer.
Big guy, hit it a long way.
Big man, yeah.
Very big, strong guy.
Yeah. Would you consider Paul Harrington the best Irish golfer so far?
I'd probably say yes. But again, Harrington's another dragonfly guy.
Yeah.
And I think the thing about Harrington is he works at it. He's not scared to try different things. A couple of years ago, he went through a spell where he was, instead of being stable at the end of the swing, he was walking after it all in one motion. Because he was trying to create more speed and momentum. Gary Player did in the 60s.
Oh, yeah. The interviewer in the Golf Channel last night when Harrington finished and he won and all that, he came over to interview Pori. And he asked him the question, and Pori spoke for about 8 minutes. Now, I timed it without taking a breath, but the excitement and all. And your man said, well, thank you, Pori, for that. And he went back to the guys in the studio and they said, he was to ask him 3 or 4 more questions, but I think he only had time for the one. Pori was finished,
He's got a lovely little golf course in his back garden and a house in just outside of Dublin, I think it is.
And Wicklow.
Yeah.
Outside Delgany, yeah. Right. Of course, I told you, his dad played senior football for Cork, living in Cork at the time. Paddy Harrington, his dad, senior was Paddy Harrington. A hard man, I'll tell you that much, a hard man on the field. Died of throat cancer. That's Porrick's father, so he's a patron of the Sarcophagus cancer.
Harrington could still play on tour. Forget the seniors bit. He could still be making money on the US tour, I think.
Well, he could certainly play on the DP World Tour anyway. When you see this with respect to the golfers that are playing, certainly he could have, three majors and one senior major. He's 4 majors, the same as McIlroy. I like saying that. He's the same as McIlroy. One of them is senior, but still a major. Anyway, that was our golf over the weekend. Oh, the rugby, again, just moving quickly on to rugby. The ladies' Six Nations began over the weekend. I know you were all watching it and with bated breath, but France and England are the full-time professional teams here at this side of the world. That's France and England. Italy, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales are semi and amateur, to say the least. And it showed, like with England England with 13 players at one stage, they still won 48-0. They had a player sent off fairly early, a red card, which was a serious tackle. And the front row, with all due respect, the front row on the England ladies team, I'll tell you, they're a credit to whatever diet they're on anyway. They were fantastic. The Italians did the best they could, but I'm afraid I was here in the house and at home watching some of it. And anyway, England won that, and France had their win yesterday. France beat, what should they beat Ireland? I forgot Ireland were playing France. They beat Ireland 38-17, but the Irish team were in a shambles after the 2 or 3 years ago. There was a huge fallout from the way they played, and in fairness, the manager came in there and he's organised them, got them organised. They played as well as people expected. They weren't beaten by 50 points as the bookies had them down for, so they equipped themselves well. They have a target of winning 2 matches in the Six Nations, that is Ireland. Scotland beat Wales 2018. And you see, Scotland, Wales, Ireland, and Italy are in one bracket, and you have France and England in the other. They're just above them. So there you go. I don't know. I saw there was a big crowd at the Italian match over in Italy. I saw that, but there was a big crowd as well at France and Ireland in France. But I don't know. Did you see any of that, lads, yourselves?
No, I didn't. Now it on here.
The women's 6 days was shown all over. Munster beat Ospreys. They went over to Wales Friday night and they beat Ospreys 27-17 in the United Rugby Championship. And the Sharks beat Ulster 22-12. Leinster beat Zebra 31-7. And Connacht lost at home to the Lions 38-14. Well, they were without Bundyaki and Matt Henson and the rest of them. They were without their international players. Would you believe it? The Grand Prix, we give it the Formula 1 Grand Prix in Melbourne. Red Bull didn't win it, and Red Bull didn't come second. For other people, I couldn't. When I was looking at the result, obviously, I couldn't. I had to go back and read about it then, So Ferrari had a 1-2 in Melbourne in the Formula 1. Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz first and second. Norris was third, and Piastri was fourth, and Perez was fifth. So Ferrari 1-2, and McLaren 3 and 4, Red Bull in fifth, and Verstappen out of the race. But I mean, I don't know how to pan out for the rest of the year, but I mean that was the excitement. If you could call that.
They reckon Sainz is going to drive for Audi now, don't they?
Yeah.
Audi are putting a team in next year.
Are they?
Yeah, and they reckon he's number one driver. He'll be the number one driver for Audi.
We were talking about that there all night, about all the other teams in Formula 1. I mean, it costs. Well, Eddie Irvine, I was trying to get Eddie Irvine on the show some night. He's a character. He's in a rock group. He plays the drums in some rock group as well, part-time as well, as musician. And he plays the guitar as well. That's Eddie Irvine. Not Eddie Irvine,
Eddie Jordan.
Eddie Jordan, I mean. Oh, Eddie Irvine drove him, but Eddie Jordan is a great character. But millions and millions of pounds it cost to put a team in. As we were saying, to change the rules so that the cars would be equal, they'd equalise the cars and they could race each other. But the Formula 1 has gone so sanitised that you can get penalised for passing the person out in the wrong place.
Yeah, there's certain places now for overtaking.
There's only so many places in the track you can pass each other out. And if you do it in the wrong place, you get penalised. I mean, it's supposed to be car racing, racing.
So what are you boys, changing the subject a bit, what did you think of the nonsense that's gone on in the Ladies Darts Championship this weekend?
The Irish girl withdrew.
As in the transgender lad?
Yeah, the Irish girl refused to play him or whoever it was,
Yeah.
It's a silly carry-on, and thank God it's petering out. You know, it's as I said it before, it's not fair. You know, it's not fair. I mean, men
But
will always be.
is there much of an advantage for being a bloke or a girl playing darts? I mean, it's not. I'm not saying it's not physical, but it's not. It's not real strength, is it? Throw darts, is it?
I wouldn't be qualified to answer that. It's a typical politician's answer. But what I would say is I don't know. Like, I don't know. Well, what's her name? Fallon Sherrock, is it?
No,
She's a,
she's the girl, isn't she? She's the little
she's a very good player.
light girl who plays against the men and stuff.
Yeah, she's a good player, but I mean, she's not pretending to be anything other than what she is, and that's good. But I don't know really. There's a lot of this. A lot of this is led by the media in many sports, and funding now. I see the funding now for sport. I know in this country it hasn't, thank God, got a huge amount of publicity. But there's funding for sports are so much dependent. Public funding, I'm talking about, for sporting organisations that there's so many requirements they have to meet, and rightly so. Some of them obviously have to be, but it's surprising to me. You know what the advantage would be as a man playing against a woman in darts? Is it? I don't know. Is it?
No, I can't.
Other than the fact that men are playing darts longer than women, and other than the fact that it started off in a pub as a pub game, so men frequented pubs more than women. That would be my logic, and so therefore they'd have more of a, I don't know, familiarity with the game more than women. I don't know that.
It made a massive splash over here. It's all over the BBC website.
Well, of course, it'd be over the BBC. The BBC loved stories like that.
I mean, it's I only found out about it today, but when you like just looking at it, thinking, "Wow, okay, now it's got into darts." Now then, I mean, only a couple of weeks ago we were all talking about it in golf, weren't we?
Right.
Maybe Gareth Southgate might look at some of the women who got into the final of the World Cup for his team.
Maybe we'll have Dorothy Maguire playing.
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, what? Again, I don't know why that you'd want to have a male playing in a female sport. I don't know why. But like you said, I mean, what other sports? I mean, pool. Would it make any difference whether you were a man or a woman playing pool or snooker? Because they're not.
Yeah.
It's not like golf where it can be timing and strength.
Yeah.
Overwhelm, because you've done that. But and I mean, the big thing is going through puberty. Is what gets you the extra testosterone to get you to be stronger than the females. So I don't know, because I mean golf is not, darts is not a test of strength.
No.
I mean it's technique and it's eye-to-hand coordination, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I was, when I read about it, I was, obviously she's not exactly a looker, but you do stand there and think to yourself, well, you could play mixed tournaments, couldn't you?
I know, Derwynne. Go on, Derwynne. Would you buy or fine?
I don't know what I'd do if she asked me to have a dance. I'm not sure about that.
For God's sake.
Judge Trump won the tournament over in China against Ding Jianwei. He's his fifth world ranking tournament this year. That's Judge Trump, so he'd be a good bet for the World Championship. Ronnie O'Sullivan got knocked out in the last 16 match. But Ronnie O'Sullivan apparently gets is earning so much money on the exhibition circuit that I don't know how he manages to fit in the tournament, you know? It's unbelievable. Anyway, we have that coming up. Now we have, that was a snooker. Going forward, we have the European Championships coming up this year. Obviously, France and Germany will be top of the pile in the betting, and I think Portugal and Spain would be those four teams, and maybe England would be in the mix as well. You know, in the European Championships. I don't know. I'm just thinking France, Germany, and Spain and Portugal. I think would be. And the Netherlands are supposed to be another team. Those five teams. And
France weren't so good though, were they, over the weekend?
Yeah. Oh, San Marino. We were talking about them last week.
Oh, yeah.
San Marino were beaten at home 3-1 by St. Kitts and Nevis in the first friendly match. But the second friendly match they played them in was 0-0. So, they didn't lose the second match. Of course, they didn't win it either. But anyway, that's the way it goes. I was thinking, as a bit of fun, maybe in the afternoon, that we should adopt a team on SportsView, a team with an unusual name and playing in a local league. I mean, in Britain or Ireland somewhere. I came across a team in the Scottish second. I know it's the second or third division. Is it a third division in Scotland?
I have no idea. Probably the
Bonnie Rose, okay? Bonnie Rose. Now I think they're a quick. I must look up the club for next Monday night. I'll look up the details in the club. Bonnie Rose. You know who played with Bonnie Rose when they were in junior soccer in Scotland?
Alex Ferguson. Alex Ferguson.
No, one of their ex-players was Sean Connery, a decent junior soccer player. The actor, yeah. So Bonnie Rose, for all your soccer fans out there, we're adopting here on SportsView as one of our mascots going forward. And
you're gonna tell me next that Connery's shirt number was 007, yeah?
Yeah, I didn't think of that. I know what number he was wearing. Yeah, it was a look. Did he play on the wing? I don't know. Anyway, so Bonnie Rose, we can look them up for next week. We'll have some more information on them. They're an old established club, but they haven't. But there's an awful lot of clubs like that around Britain as well, that are knocking around the second and the old third and fourth divisions for years, They never get promotion. They never move up or down. I think a club there when the man was on Jeff Sterling when he was on Sky Sports, Hartlepool, that's where he was from. He was always make sure that he went out to Hartlepool and they got demoted and promoted while he was on the club, on the game. But I think he's missed from sportscasters. What would be the most popular sports program or station in America, Joe, in the States? Would it be ESPN or would it be Fox Sports?
Probably ESPN.
Yeah.
Yeah, ESPN is still pretty big. Yeah, I mean, you've got now at the moment you've got what's called March Madness going on, and it's the college basketball championships. So you've got.
I have ESPN here, and I put it on, and there's nothing on the college basketball. I can't stand basketball. I think
it's a huge. I mean, this time of year, it's college basketball is huge, and every business that you have has a bracket, and people fill in the brackets, and they have to fill them in going forward to see how far they can get into it. Everybody puts about $5 in or something like that, and it just becomes a bit of fun with it. But you have to pick the winner of every game, and then eventually get to the. I don't know how many it starts out with, but you get to the Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final 4, and then you have the championship. But it's played in different cities. So like the prelim stages will be down in LA on the West Coast, be up in Seattle on the West Coast, and then they'd have a central location where they would send the teams forward to the Final Four and what have you. So it is an absolutely bizarre. Yeah.
And there must be huge money in basketball. Obviously, I know there's huge money in professional basketball. Forever, it was never an attraction for me as a sport. I'm not saying that it's not a legitimate sport, of course it is. But
it was never a sport we had though as kids.
No.
I mean,
as for baseball,
yeah,
I'd rather watch the Valspar tournament, Pink Troy. That's a baseball. Oh my God. You're catching the glove. Oh, and it's 1.2 something. I don't know what. I think they're all on drugs. They're all commentators on baseball. I think it's. I don't know. You've been at live baseball matches, Joe, I presume, have you?
Yes, I have. Yeah, and it can be. You have to understand the game. You know, you have to understand the nuances of the game to really appreciate it, and the tactics of the game. You know, how the pitcher and the catcher interact and what have you. Like, speaking of which, I saw a great documentary on TV the other day about Yogi Berra. He was the legendary New York Yankees catcher and manager, and what a fascinating story. He's won more World Series than any other person, and he became a joke because of these yogiisms. You know, it's over till it's over. You know, and things like that. He came out with all these things, and just a great character. Just a great character. If you ever get a chance to watch it, you should.
Well, the one I watched was that actually played Cobb. That film Cobb. Yeah. Who will forget the actor off the top of my head, but he was very good, and I enjoyed the film, I must say, and they did explain the nature of the game, all right, baseball, you know, but baseball is confined to America and Mexico and the southern states and South America.
Japan as well. That's massive in Japan.
Yeah. Well, it's it's funny that baseball is a very popular sport in all the places that the American Army went, and soccer is a hugely popular sport in all the countries that the English Army went.
Yeah, we call it here in Ireland, as you know, Joe, the Garrison game.
Yeah.
Played in all the garrisons, and here you are. England gave us something good, all right. You know, it's not all bad, you know. And
what's that?
That was the agent from the New York Yankees.
Yeah, I've been to a few baseball games. I just don't get it at all.
I like cricket. You know.
I love watching ice hockey and I love watching basketball.
Yeah.
I just can't get baseball. I just don't get it.
And look how long it has taken soccer to make its mark in America. You know, it's you could say that soccer is an established sport now in America, but it must have taken the guts of 80 or 90 years for it, you know, to be spread around.
When I was taking my A license for coaching, the coach, one of the coaches that was teaching the course, that was facilitating it, he asked the question, when was the first international match played by the US? What year was it played? It was played in the
the 30s, wasn't it?
No, 1800s.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was the US played Canada in, I want to say, 1890 something. That
Right.
was the
Wow.
first. That was the first. And when the US beat England and Brazil in Belo Horizonte,
Yeah.
the teams, there were only two places in the US that were playing soccer, and they provided the teams. Philadelphia and St. Louis were the two centers of soccer, and they were both hugely competitive. They hated each other, but when it came to the national team, they bit the bullet, and they went to Brazil, and they beat England 1-0. And the English newspapers had it that they couldn't believe it when the telegram came through with the score: the US won, England 0. They thought that the person writing the telegram had made a mistake,
Yeah.
and they put it in the paper as US 1, England 10. And afterwards they had to correct it because
It's like Ireland, so we still dine out, and when Ireland beat England in 1948,
yeah.
we still talk about that
The,
here, you know.
the US team beat the Billy Wright England team too, didn't they?
Back
in the 50s.
That was Belo Horizonte.
It was it? That was the Billy Wright. England.
That was it. I mean, you had Stanley Matthews. Was in that team.
Tom Finney.
Yeah. Who else?
Finney? Tom Finney.
Tommy Lawton in that team.
I think he was.
Finney.
Yeah.
So it was. I mean, it was a huge shock. It was a huge shock.
And the one thing I like about America, they have a lovely style of soccer, and technically they're all pretty good, the players, even in the World Cup. That's the American team, but I think there isn't enough competition at a high level for the players themselves to get up there, to be able to compete on a regular basis with the international teams, you know. But I think they always play.
There's quite a few Americans now playing in the Premier League, though, isn't there?
Yeah, and in Europe.
Yeah.
Didn't your man play in England? Landon Donovan.
Landon Donovan played for Everton for a while. Yeah, he did. John
Very
Howard.
good player.
Back with Ron Atkinson was there.
Yeah.
You had Tim Howard played for United.
Tim Howard, of course. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Trying to think of some of the other lads that went over there that played. A good friend of mine actually is Canadian, but he played for Reading. Played for Reading back in the 70s.
Wow.
Yeah, so I don't know if he ever made the first team, but he was on the books at Everton. I remember playing against him there, and then we played together in Tacoma afterwards. But I'm trying to think of some of the other American lads that came over and played.
I must say, you enjoy and Derwynne in our national sport, hurling, before we go. Hurling. Right. There are two national competitions for Derwynne and people who have no interest in it. But there
Let's
are
get the Irish cricket out.
There are two national competitions in Ireland in Gaelic games. One is the All Ireland Series, and the other is the National League, National Hurling League and National Football League. The National Hurling League is down to the final now. The two semi-finals are on over the weekend. Limerick, who are the holders of the All Ireland and the National Hurling League titles, were beaten very well by Kilkenny over the weekend. They were beaten by 9 points, but it could have been a lot more. They were really, really beaten, and which was a shock to the system, both for Limerick and for us watching it. But anyway, that's it. And Clare, my own county, Clare here, beat Tipperary in the other semi-final very handy. So it's Clare and Kilkenny in the National Hurling League final in Simple Stadium in Thurles. the home and the founding city of the GA in 1884. So we didn't find there in Simple Stadium. Tom Simple was the man. Actually, I was to interview one of his relations, but anyway, never
I
got
can
around to it yet.
actually say I've actually been and watched a Gaelic football game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, football.
Mary's dad took me.
Who?
Mary's
Oh, yeah.
dad took
Oh,
me.
my God.
They had an exhibition game at Wembley Stadium.
Oh, very good.
And I don't know what I would have been. I would have been about 5 or 6, maybe 7 years old. And I was expecting, having been to Wembley all the time to watch England play from a 4-year-old.
Yeah.
I thought, well, it's going to be empty, isn't it? I don't think there was anybody in Willesden, Harlesden, Stonebridge. I think every Irishman in London was in Wembley watching this match.
Shepherd's Bush was well represented.
I was convinced Harlesden had emptied.
Harlesden, Willesden, Acton, Ealing, Broadway.
All around North London was
Kilburn.
empty. There was no Irishmen. They were all in Wembley Stadium.
Kilburn, of course, yeah. Cricklewood.
Exactly.
Yeah. I tell you, Joe, the good old days. But in the National Football League, then, Dublin and Derry are contesting the final of that. So there you go. But Limerick will be the senior hurling championship will be starting in 3 weeks and 4 weeks time. So we're already scrambling around for tickets because there aren't enough obviously for it's just like any sport really, you know. It's popular. England or Limerick are going for a historic 5 in a row. Has never been done. 5 in a row. There has been a few 4 in a row, but no 5 in a row. It would be astonishing. Now the team to me looked tired, and the team to me looked out of ideas over the weekend. But that's my own opinion. Looking at them,
But they have,
you know,
they have a lot of injuries.
They have a lot of miles on the clock, as they say, in high octane, high intense games. I remember the
There's a lot of guys. There's a lot of guys that are starting guys not playing right now because of injuries and what have you. So, I mean, it's going to be a tough ask, no matter what anybody says. You know, the reason it hasn't been before.
They're flying out to Portugal on Wednesday for a warm weather training, so that'll ease the pain a bit for them, you know. However, Cork did the Cork team of 1976, 77, and 78 at the 3 in a row with Jimmy Ryan Murphy and all those players on it. I remember in 1979, for different reasons which I can't mention on this program, that Cork were really big favourites to win 4 in a row, and I suppose we all gambled. Well, some of us gambled more than most, but I was above in Dublin for the 79 All Ireland semi-final, and it was a rainy day. I remember it well, and I was above in a friend's house. I didn't get a ticket for the match. And she said to me at halftime, "Are you okay, Pat? You don't look well, you know." What I was thinking that time was, where am I going to get some money for the rest of the week? Because every penny I had was gone in Cork to win the 79. I wasn't interested in hurling. And certainly by the time the final whistle went, I was looking at a return ticket from Dublin on the street. But anyway.
You were lucky you got a return ticket. What about in those days when we used to go to those matches and you'd wear with the, like, Cork could have red and white on it.
Yeah.
Limerick could have green and white. And it's this paper that they used to make with that would go around a little bit of cardboard and stapled together. And when it rained, the dye ran.
You had green dye or red dye. That's right. Yeah. I remember my clothes.
It was just like it was so
funny.
Sure.
They were funny. I know it was raining. I mean, the sense of it was September there in the final, so the chances of rain was very high, you know.
Yeah. It was
anyway,
fun.
On that fantastic note, lads, it's been a blast again for another Monday night, and from Joe Waters From Derwynne, Honan, from myself, Pat, until we meet again next Monday night, let go of day. Actually, next Monday will be Fool's Day, April Fool's Day. But we'll have April. Next Monday.
So we'd be well set up then for it.
Yeah.
We're perfect for that. The Three Musketeers, eh?
Yeah. Hear no evil, see no evil, speak no
The
evil.
Three White Vikings on a Monday night.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
All right, bye.
Thanks, boys.
Take care. See you, Derwynne. Take care.
Take care. Bye.